Hello, this video demonstrates how the sporting leagues and the broadcasters already have browser-based and app-based contests. Our advantage, or our only advantage, is for digital signage with media players. So I'm going to show you the NBA's website. They have a contest called NBA Pick'em. As you can see, for every day, you basically choose the NBA games for that day. For example, today there are four games. You ask you 5 questions in each 4 games, and it's basically versus everybody on the planet that wants to play. So as the numbers of players go up, the prizes go up. And as you can select on all these games your own group, again, what Shree's trying to do, where you do it for any venue, any website, already exists on these websites, because any website can create their own private group. And again, what they're all trying to do is to drive more users to watching the game. That's where the additional revenues are, to make watching the games more compelling. And the thing that's tough about all these is that no one's going to be a winner or close to a winner unless they're actually watching the games when they pick these real-time contests. Because you're not going to know the leading scorer third quarter of the game unless you're watching the live stats. So actually doing these games is very cumbersome if you actually want to plan on winning. So we actually still have our unique advantage for digital signage. And again, all these, the NBA and the broadcasters already have the platforms, and they're all going to want their platforms, or they'll offer their platforms to us by giving us the ability, by getting the RLAN ability to put it inside live TV from a dongle. So that's the NBA site. Now we're going to look at both. ESPN has a pick'em thing, and so does, see, that's where you join to play, how you play. You can see 5 games per day. Again, it's not going to be interesting for a bowling alley, a laundromat, a car dealer. It's too focused on people that really have to watch the games. These my groups. You can choose public groups, create your own group. So the platforms already exist that have an advantage for doing contests via a browser or an app. Ours is purely on Pryster via digital signage, which requires a media player. The advantage is huge. The media player allows the user to create their own contest, choose their own content to show them the chyrons. It's not limited just to sports. So again, we're going to switch over to the ESPN app. You'll see here, I've got them loaded and logged in. ESPN is a little bit noisy because ESPN has been one of the fantasy league players, along with FanDuel and DraftKings. And you see everything's based off of a streak. ESPN, to play the game, you have to choose at least one event a day. And you can see the winning streak is 7, because it's like flipping heads or tails 7 times in a row. So if you have 200,000 players, they pretty much know exactly how many events have to play out on a 50-50 probability to come up with a single winner. So we've also been correct in defining Last Man Standing as the most compelling games. We've had that mocked up for 3 years. What we've been mocking up is also advantageous, because we can do contesting games that play out in 5 minutes with a winner always being local, always being amongst a group, and always being in the venue. And again, the major players are going to want to include the contests that have inside the TV chyrons and ads to complement the game, not have to watch on a separate browser or a separate app when you're trying to watch the big screen TV or even your TV at home. So again, this is the ESPN site. Since ESPN has all sports, all leagues, 24/7, and broadcast, and as well as stream. they can't do the streaming contest because of the latency. So we're going to look now at the NBC predict for the Washington market, where they're trying to actually do live broadcast TV chyrons that complement the contest, which that's the end game. And they can only do it through the local broadcast. They can't do it through streaming because of the latency. We can uniquely with a media player, and it's a big market. And where I think where it's misunderstood, where media players are expensive, media players opens the opportunity to do custom content, which is much more appealing to the eye and the TV viewer. Even though this is noisy, it's much more compelling right now than browser-based and app-based games because we insert the ads. And the ad content is not going to be sports stuff. It's going to be things that whatever that venue owner wants to show as standard signage content. You can see here on the far right, we had a very good and still couldn't get this user interface that has automated gaming. An example is going to pay out in a single inning of baseball, and the winner's going to be local. And we're popping the ad here on the third ad, on the third out. We can do that. That's again versus the live stats. This is much prettier. It's much more compelling. So anywhere you have a media player, this is going to be preferred format. See, we pop the ad on the third out. It's fully automated. It's pretty. The graphic interface is pretty on the TV. It's seamless. This is just a replay here of a pitch, so it's not live. So there's no issue with showing the content. We never interrupted popping the ads. And I'm just showing the comparison of the live stats, everything. This is a very compelling product. We've had turnkey for a long time. Automate the winners. All we need to do was be able to demo any game 24/7 because we never know when an investor, BrightSign Sport Radar, is going to be ready to do a meeting. So the only thing we need right now to get a deal with BrightSign Sport Radar investor is to do an interactive demo during any game and be able to start, stop anytime within 5 minutes. That was a game plan as of December 2018, January 19. That still remains, in my opinion, the clear best path forward. This was gorgeous inside a TV. No one else can do it because of latency. We don't have a latency issue.